I want to be the allowing monkey. So, it seems like there's only one answer to every question, and that's get into the vortex. And yet, is there anything about this particular paradigm that's, just on the cusp of occurring globally that you want me or anyone to know about this? Because it feels huge, and everyone can feel it that I talk to.
Well, just this one thing. It's the freedom you've all been looking for. Because the bondage you've all been feeling a repulsion to has only been the bondage of resistance. It's the coming home. It's the coming into your own. It's the beginning of more deliberate cooperation among your peoples. In other words, imagine coming together even in your nation with political parties that vary and having a common denominator of caring how you feel rather than caring about the details of how something is perceived by others, by working for the common good, not for the individual advantage, by recognizing that the economic pie is no longer this limited what is pie, but it's this unlimited vortex pie, and realizing that the pie is gaining momentum and size and stature and abundance exponentially with the desires. In other words, it's growing with the desires of those who are participating. And when that consciousness begins to reach enough of you, then the status quo will look odd and stick out like sore thumbs. Are you noticing any of that? Things that have been going on for a long time, people are beginning to question. There are a lot of people who are in outright rebellion against status quo because they can feel the momentum of all of this. The book that we are writing right now is called The Spiritual Revolution. Revolution, the spiritual revolution. We may ask them to cross the R off and call it spiritual evolution revolution because they're one and the same. In other words, there is no evolution without some revolt. And there is no revolt without knowing what you don't want. And when you know what you don't want, you launch rockets about what you do want. And then some like you, what a beautiful monkey you are, some like you find alignment with it and know it so clearly that you don't take no for an answer. You don't argue for limitations anymore. You don't try to explain that it can't be explained in that way. You're willing to jump the scientific gulf. You're willing to stand in the place of faith because you know about the laws of the universe, and that's enough of a bridge for you. And when that happens, then a paradigm shift is what is experienced and is what's being experienced. You all knew when you came that this was a time of awakening, and we would like to say really the time of reawakening. But it doesn't mean that there needs to be upheaval. It doesn't mean that your world needs, as you know, it needs to come to an end. It's an evolving thing. It's a raising the water and going and raising the water and going. And it's only those who stand so determined to hold the status quo that fear the change that begin telling you that the sky is falling. And we promise you the sky is not falling. It's a stable world that you live in. You live in a stable economic world. You live in a stable ecological world. You live in a stable vibrational world. You are eternal beings, and this will be your place of powerful, deliberate creating, source energy creating for a very long time. These are wonderful times.
Thank you.
What could possibly be left undone? Really? Really? There is something left undone?